So I've had some questions online on YouTube about the invisible cast-on, which is a provisional cast-on. Mainly, how do you count the stitches? So I thought I would go over that, focusing on counting the stitches. I'm ready to do the invisible cast-on now, and I'm using two colors of yarn, with the white yarn being my main color and the red being my waste yarn. So I make a slip knot and I put it on my needle, and I'll hold those two ends out of the way with my right hand. And I hold the yarns at right angles. So now I'm going to make 2 stitches at a time, and there are 4 steps, and I'm going to describe the needle movement, not the yarn movement. So I'm going over and behind the yarn on the back, over and behind the yarn in the front, over and behind the yarn in the back, and under. So those 4 steps make 2 stitches plus the slip knot. Over, 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 under. Over, 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 under. Over, 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 under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll do 2 more. Okay, there's 10 stitches, and I'm going to turn, and you have to hold the waste yarn against the needle and knit these stitches before you put the needle down, because if you do, you'll start losing stitches because they're not stable yet. So knitting this row will keep them stable until you're ready to pick them up later. Now I've knitted all 10 stitches, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and here's the slip knot. I'm going to just drop that off and let it hang. And once you start knitting in the opposite direction, you'll take that out. Don't take it out before then, or you'll start losing stitches. So now I'm going to knit a few rows, and we'll then count the stitches picked up the other way. Now you can see that I've knitted several rows of my swatch, and down here is the provisional cast on, and it's really useful to pull tight that waste yarn, because then you get better access to the stitches. You can see them pretty well here, but I pull tight, and then that opens up the stitches, so then it's easier to pick up the stitches. So I'm picking up 1 loop, that's 1 stitch, that's the 2nd stitch, the 3rd stitch, the 4th stitch, the 5th stitch, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then there's a little weird one at the very end that is 10. Get into that, and then you can pull the waste yarn out, and as I've noted in my first video about this, every other stitch is twisted. You can see that the left side of the stitch is in front of the needle there, and that is a properly oriented stitch. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 stitches. I hope this helped. Happy knitting!